Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of fucking whatever. All right, so this time around, we're gonna finish this this glove or this bandage that he got on his that my man Sackett got on his hand. So as you can see, I already indicated some outlines. Them outlines have been there, just to get an idea of what what his fists what his fists are actually gonna look like. So I mean, once I have the indication, I could pretty much erase it. So I mean, out of basically what these indications are where shadows go and things like that. Basically letting me know where all the shadows go. But I'm gonna erase all of the indications that I already put down. That's kind of like ironic or tedious that I put them down and then erase them. It's like I'm not even using them. So what's the point of putting them down? But at least see what you don't want is a dark line indicating. You at least want something there to indicate. So the lighter, as long as you can see a little bit of it, it's all good. You're not gonna be using the actual lines for these indications. So you just kind of want to vaguely see them to get an idea of where you're working. That's how I usually do it. I usually get the indications down and then erase them. You know, all I need is an idea of where each shadow and everything is at instead of having to eyeball every single thing. I'll basically just mark them down like that. You know. Alright, so hold on. Let me just erase some of this, just so you guys can get the point, get the idea. Put my elbow down here to hold this. You know what? Actually, let me hit it up with this eraser, the harder eraser. Take these lines out a little bit better. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's noise in the background, so never mind that. It's like some type of machinery going on back there. I don't know what they doing outside. In New York, I swear, it's like there's always construction going on. There's never an end to the construction. Like ever since a kid, like it's like there's they're never done. Like construction always goes on in this city. If you're a city person, you know all about that. That's why I love the city. I love all that noise. Don't get me wrong though, I love Japan a lot better. I used to live in Japan for a few years. I just actually came back from Japan, and shit, it gets quiet out there in the country. I stay out in the country when I'm out there, in a place called Yamanashi. Man, that place gets so quiet, especially at night. You don't hear anything but crickets, frogs. Alright, so basically I just erased a bunch of bullshit. Just erased a bunch of lines that I don't need. So now what we're gonna do is pretty much see, I don't know if you can see that, but I got my indication here. So this is what I'm working inside of. I'm working inside of this right now. So I'll be flexing that. And the way I'll be doing that is I'll be starting off with a bit of powdered graphite. You know what I mean? Not too much. Just dip that right up on there because I don't want it to be too dark. So look, damn. One dip. I dip the brush in it's a little dip, and look how much I pull out. So you gotta be careful with that. You don't really need all of that. So I'll start because I know he has this shadow coming across here, so we can take a little bit more. See, this is how I'll do it. I'll actually get instead of applying the actual graphite, I'll just get the brush dirty, and I'll indicate using that. Plus, these are white bandages. They're not gonna be as it's not gonna be as dark as his skin, so you gotta be careful to all of that. So I'm just gonna put, because this is definitely gonna be shaded in right here. This is all definitely shadow right here. This is shadow right here. Basically indicated with shadow. This is, if you've seen the previous videos or like my first video, you'll remember like this is how I did his actually how I did his forearm. Basically indicating where the shadow goes. You know. So it's like, so basically there's a level of dark shadow right here. This is like the dark shadow. See, because that shadow is basically going to be following this scheme right there. So it's the dark, it's going to follow this scheme right here. So basically the shadow of his forearm is going to continue up, going into the insides of his palms. I mean, he got his fist clenched, but you'll see. And this is another thing. This is why you got to always keep your papers clean. Always cover your paper, because any little speck or stain or water drop, like let's say this is 2013, I don't know where this stain came from, but it must have been old. You're gonna come across stains like that. So see how consistent that is right there? But it's all good because you could actually fix that up. So it's not really a big problem, but you know, the idea is to keep your paper clean so that you don't have to go through those little discrepancies. There's discrepancies there. So it's pretty much the easy process right here. Not too crazy. Just basically showing you how I indicate this. Now his bandages are not as dark as his skin, but they're not white either. So I gotta make sure I don't go too dark on this, because there's actually a gradient so around here as well. All up on here there's a gradient. There's gonna be crazy textures in this too, so yeah, basically fill this in. Fill all of this in. You know, gradually. I do it gradually because I am not trying to backpedal. So throw that back in there. Basically get these lighter shades, and then just as how I built up levels on the skin on his, it's the same way with this. We'll just indicate, keep indicating, and then eventually everything will fall into place. See, there's like actually sharp lines that I should have taken out, but I didn't, because I'm just doing everything half-assed right now because I'm on camera. It's so good. Everything can be fixed. Like, I should actually take these out a little bit better, these indication lines, because I'm gonna have to take them out somewhere along the line anyway. Thank God the bandages aren't pure white, because if they were, I'd have gotten myself into a problem right now, because I put those pencil marks, I guess in 2013 when I was marking it up. I went kind of ham, kind of OD'd with putting those pencil lines in there. So, as long as the shit ain't all white, like the bandages ain't all white, there's a gray to it. there's gonna be a shadow to it. I could actually get those out, get those lines out of there. You see, like all these consistencies like this. You see how I'm not even, it's not even bothering me. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just worried about getting the basic shade in there, getting my basic shadings in there, my basic levels in there, you know, my basic gradients. If it's dirty and it's like patchy and it's like inconsistent, you know how it goes. We could always fix that. So I wouldn't sweat that too much. I think I'll put, see, so like if you notice here, he has all these like, there's all these other things, these other indications. I'll put a lot of those in with pencil. For the most part, I'll do those with pencil. But to cover this ground, I'm doing it with the graphite. You know. Looks dirty as hell, but that's what it looks like for now. And as I notice, we got this thing going like this. There's gonna be some type of shadow here. It's gonna be, wait, hold on. Cuts through here. I'm like, where's my, there's like there's like a shadow here. Could indicate that real fast. This is like a real careful process, doing it with like minimum. See, I keep dipping it into this part. I'm not dipping it onto the actual graphite. I'm just getting it dirty enough so that I can make some type of marking, you know. Then I just indicate it. Boom, all up on here. And then like, I'll clean this up with the eraser, you know, sharpen everything up. Right now, like I said, we're just getting everything down. This is the part I hate the most. And this is kind of annoying the shit out of me, so I'll kind of dull this down a little bit. So now remember how I said your pens, keep your papers clean because then you'll get like a saturation of lead or whatever. Basically, we could actually take that out because this is graphite powder, so we're not actually pushing lead into the paper. The lead is kind of resting on the surface. So I can actually take this out. Actually, I can actually pick that off. So when you want to like clean up consistencies like that, that's all you do. Pick it off and then leave it alone. I'll leave, like right now, I'll leave it alone. Like I won't try to fill it in to match it with the other grade just yet. Doesn't really make sense to try to fix it up right now. See, so now what's gonna happen is kind of like inverted. So now everything on the outside is gonna be darker than the inside. You see? But as we build up valleys and shit, we could fill that in. We could fill that in with pencil actually later on. So don't really worry about that too much. See, just all we want to do right now is get in the darkest shadings. Get in the darkest part of shading. That's all. Get all that in there. You see? So that's what, this is basically going to be the whole section we're working on. This section right here. For the next few videos, it'll be this. So like I said, there's a dark shadow. There's dark shadows going on down here. It's going to build up. So like a darker shadow here, but not as dark as this. It's gonna be like 3 different shadows, right? 3 different levels of shading here. It's gonna be this one. And then there's the, pretty much like the last level of shading is all up here. It's all of this, and then there's gonna be a highlight up on here. There's gonna be highlights. So this basically just has to get dusted in. I don't know if you can see that, but very light levels of shading there. All this has to get filled in. You know, like I said, there's other ways to do this, but this is how I do it, you know. Like I said, my style takes a while. It takes a while for me to get to a certain level. So this is how we do it. But I bet you, Jake, if you try it this way, you make less mistakes. Very rare do I have to fix up mistakes. Only type of fixing up I'll ever have to do is like little, like you see how like that little inconsistency was there, little inconsistencies and shit like that. But that's actually fun. Fixing those things are actually fun. And then I guess you could lock it in with the thing, but I don't want to brush this work too much. You know what I mean? Because I like how sharp those lines are. If I want to shade it, I'll just go back in with the pencil to get close. I'll get closer to the edge of, I'll get closer to these edges with a pencil. I won't really hit it up with the brush. But look, as you can see, you see how it starts out? Don't ever get discouraged when you do your shading, because your shading might start out like this, all grainy and patched up. But then as you work on it, you can actually get it smooth like that. You see, that's real smooth. Those are crazy levels of shading, if I say so myself. Look at the transition. Look at that. That shit is smooth as hell. Smooth. You see? So don't get discouraged. I know me, a lot of the times, you know, I never gave up, but as I would go through the picture, I'd be like, fuck, why is this shading looking like this? Da 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 da. But through determination and not giving up, I would spend a bit more time on the actual drawing, and I found out like, oh, you know, time is the main thing, and being consistent and not giving up. Because at the beginning, it's gonna look choppy, just like this, and that's what a lot of people give up. That's like if you know anything about making beats, or if you know anything about making music and shit like that. When you make like hip hop beats, it's like you can make a beat, but then there's a layer to that. There's another layer, you gotta put like snares. Then there's another layer where you put like the melody. Then there's another layer. Then you mix it and master it and like do all this shit. Like some people just sell you a beat. One layer of a beat, you know what I mean? So it's like the same thing. There's layers to this, a process to this. And with this process that I'm doing, the one that I always do, this is it. You got this tedious process of just building up shading. It looks tedious as hell when you see me just hitting it up with the brush, like I'm not really making no markings, but it's actually making it's dirtying. It's making the paper dirty. I'm getting the lightest levels of gray like this. Rather than making the lightest level with the pencil, I'm laying them down in the beginning. The lightest levels. With a dead brush. You know what I mean? With a brush that doesn't have too much lead. You could basically fill in one spot. If you keep hitting at that same spot, you'll actually fill it in a bit better. But I just go across the whole drawing evenly. And if I need more, I'll just dip into the pencil. I'll just dip into the lead a bit more. But the goal is to get it a nice, smooth layer of gray, smooth as I can. You know? And then get in all the indications. So now you see from this, directly from this, I'll start working on making it smoother. So that's all the indication that needs right there. That's basically enough to advance forward. That's all you need. Now I know that this is a dark shadow. I know that this is the darkest shadow. I know that there's a second level of shadow. And then I know there's like a basic shadow level of shadow right here. and then there's a highlight up here. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this tutorial right here. When I make my next video, I'll show you how smooth this can actually get. I'll go in with a pencil and get it a little bit more smooth. Like all this will be cleaned up and tapered up. Of course, you know, I would go back in and take out some of this excess to shape the form a bit better. But a lot of this shit is gonna be black. Like this is gonna be black here. Like there's a lot of dark. There's a lot of dark. This is not gonna be complete black, but that's like a real dark shading. So a lot of that doesn't need to be emphasized too much. I should probably clean this up a bit. As you can see, the kneaded eraser basically picks up all of the powdered graphite. That's another thing with these kneaded erasers. People think that you use this to actually erase things, but no, this is actually used to pick up excess lead and shit like that. You know, that's the main purpose of this. You don't really make a line and erase the line with this. For that, you get another eraser. You know, you get a vinyl eraser, whatever. But this you just use to like kind of pick up and clean up. This is used to clean up, you know, different like little leads and shit, like little loose lead graphite, little loose graphite powders, you know what I mean, laying around. I'm actually a real good speaker, but when I'm drawing and speaking at the same time, I kind of jack my whole speech up. But check it out though. You hear that music in the background? That's that city pop. I don't know if y'all know about that city pop. That city pop is popping. Get up on that city pop though. Pretty much like this. Sound like that. So you can see, sound like that. But then he's gonna have like threads all over the place, loose threads and things like that. You can get an idea. Alright, so stay tuned for the next video. These videos usually go for like a 10-minute, 20-minute span. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.